Alfa Romeo is very, very grim after being in various workshops for about a year. Now I'm going to spend the next 2 episodes making it extremely shiny again. If you haven't already hit subscribe, do that now, then you can catch up with the next episode when that comes out soon. Hello, welcome to Furious Driving, and today I'm sat in the Alfa Romeo 145, and I often explain that this is not a car detailing channel. This is a car driving, reviewing and fixing channel where occasionally we clean cars. Normally that's right before I embark on a ridiculous epic car cleaning mission, and today's no different. Though usually it's on a car I've just bought which has been neglected or sat for a long time. Today it's my own car which has been sat for a long time. In fact, most of this year either on my drive being cut apart and welded and in someone else's workshop being cut apart and welded, and that year of not being washed has not been kind to the paint, and all that cutting apart the floor and welding it has not been, well, it's made the interior quite dusty and grimy. It's a different kind of dust and dirt. It's not like a damp, ground in food, cigarettes, cat hair type dirt. It's just dust. It's thick dust everywhere, and everywhere you look it's in all the crevices. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time, probably over a few days actually, going over it, doing it absolutely everywhere, making it as shiny as possible. Well, now we always start our epic cleaning videos with the 50 quid vacuum cleaner I bought to go and sort out the crusty Fiesta we did a little while ago. That was another epic cleaning video, funnily enough, but it's turned out to be actually quite useful in the shop on videos. There's a new toy I've got in my toy box of cleaning things, and this is Diamond Bright's new dashboard brush, so I can get into all the little nooks and crannies, into the air vents and things, and actually get all the dust out from where it's really well recessed and trapped, so I can get this dashboard looking like new. Where's the You can see in the boot just how dusty it all is collected in this parcel shelf. It's a bit of a weird thing anyway at the best of times. Doesn't need too much of a hoover in the boot itself, but the back of the leather, oh, this needs a really good feed. And a really good dust. Yuck. Black fingers just from wiping the chair. Must get this thing on eBay soon. Well, there's 2 things I found in the car which I kind of knew about anyway, it's not a real massive surprise. Firstly, the big thing I'm aiming to get done before this paint goes off is these are the offcuts, leftovers from when they painted in the strut tops and also blew in the hidden metal sills after the car was finished being painted. So this is Azzurro Fantasia Blue, Alfa Romeo code 402B if you're interested, but I've got most of a can that's left actually, so I can touch in all the stone chips on the front of the car because I've got quite a few, and if I'm feeling really adventurous I might even sand back the front legs of the car in the engine bay and paint them. I may not feel that adventurous. Secondly, you can probably see, or I may have seen in the driving shots, this all falls out. This radio is just held in by wedge. It's wedged in place because there's no bracketry in there. So, I don't know, optimistically I did buy a double DIN carrier cage to try and sort of screw in there, figure something out. There's no architecture in there. I just try and figure out some way of screwing stuff in there. This fell out of it a while ago, which I think is part of the brackets. So yeah, those are future plans which I'm uncovering while I'm in here. I've actually been thinking some nice all screen double DINs might be quite cool to look in there. This is a oldish Alpine head unit in this at the moment, which kind of looks quite period correct, but it'd be nice to have a big, CarPlay. If it's a pure screen dashboard or front face, it would look quite fun. Right, now let's get on with cleaning this dashboard because it's manky and horrible, and we have got some, where is it? Interior cleaner. We can give this a jolly good going over with the interior cleaner, get all this dust and grime off. And I drove this car yesterday in the low winter sun. The windscreen was so grimy I actually couldn't see where I was going. Oh my word, that's just one bit of dashboard. That shows all the leftover cutting of the metal, basically cutting and grinding dust, which is what this poor car is coated in. So yeah, I can give the reasons I'm doing yet another car cleaning video. Well, there's a number of them really. First of all, this car needs cleaning, and it's going to take a lot of hours, and those hours are time I would otherwise be spent fixing a car, so I've got nothing else in terms of content to put out. Secondly, most of the videos I've made recently have actually cost way more in order to go buy parts or pay for labour than the video has any hope of recouping in terms of ad revenue from YouTube. So I need to do something that doesn't cost me anything for once. And thirdly, if we are looking at lockdown 3 in the new year, which it does look unfortunately like we might be, I kind of just stretch out the jobs I've got to do to pad things out a little bit. I don't like padding jobs out. I like to get things done in a timely and conscientious manner, so you get good value for your money. Good, I say your money, it's costing you nothing. It's giving you good value for your watch time, so you don't feel cheated like you wasted your day. But yeah, if we're going to have limited availability of going out and doing stuff in the new year, then I want to save a few good jobs for then. Not that I'm short of them, really. There are plenty to be getting on with. Lemon fresh. Now, a while ago, one of the videos when I was up at the garage where this was having its MOT and other work, I referred to this as my lucky gear knob, this Momo half leather, half aluminium one, which came from my 146, which got unfortunately rear-ended quite nastily by a truck and written off. And a few people pointed out that doesn't sound like a particularly lucky thing, considering the car was destroyed and this one's now nearly rusted to death. But the fact this one has now been resurrected suggests maybe it is lucky after all. This is the same leather feeding cleaner I've been using in the Rover convertible. It's got a far less arduous task on its hands in here because the leather was actually really good, just very dirty. But after a bit of elbow grease, getting into all the crevices, corners, gaps in this rather lovely box pleat leather, which is so soft to the touch now, it looks absolutely beautiful. Now, something I mentioned in the last Rover convertible video is that there's a little bit of a scuff down here on this seat. I was going to borrow some black leather dye from doing this job to sort out the gear gaiter on that car. This is one of the problems of working over Christmas and New Year, is everything's shut. So hopefully in the next few weeks, when things are open again, maybe at the same time as I put in an order for leather repair cleaning stuff, I think Furniture Clinic or Furniture World or something, they do really nice leather repair kits. I can get one for the Alfa and one for the Rover convertible at the same time. So I've now leather fed everything. I've done the steering wheel, the gear gaiters, the door cards, the seats, everything that could potentially be a leather item in this car is now done. The whole thing actually looks and feels and smells delightful inside here. It's really nice, actually. I wouldn't say it feels like a new car. It feels like a car that's 20 years old but very, very clean. Well, my introduction to this video has not aged well, seeing as we went into Tier 4 restrictions whilst I was filming it, bizarrely. So yeah, we haven't been out much and done a lot since then, apart from Christmas and New Year, which seems to have taken forever. But the interior of the car now does look absolutely spectacular. A real star of the show has been the little crevice brush, which has got the dust out of all the little tiny joins between, well, just joins basically. This is a new thing from Diamond Bright. I'm not sponsored by them anymore, but I'm still using the equipment because it's good stuff. So this has made a big difference. I do keep finding little areas I missed previously, like the join between this plastic in the door handle and the door arm. I'll be dusting this car for months, I'm sure. Just finding new places. But anyway, that's all now done, as much as I can be. It looks amazing. However, one thing I was going to be doing last winter was this weird bit of rust just here. The paint, or whatever it is, the coating has flaked off this front runner of this window, and over on the other side it's come off this little nub in there, so I need to grind that off, mask it, rust proof it, paint it before I wash the rest of the car. And there is a reason I've not tackled this for a long time. I've even considered trying to buy a new window with one of these bonded things to replace it, and it's because I'm not looking forward to it. It's got potential to go wrong horrifically. Well, Well, I've taken that back to clean metal where the paint is not flaking anymore. It's a nice, well, sort of smooth transition. In places where it's not too pitted, I've even got smooth metal down here as well, but mostly it is quite pitted, so I'm going to treat it with some rust killer and then a bit of filler to smooth off all of that, so it's got a nice smooth surface to paint over. Let's have a quick look at the other side. Well, this must be some kind of plastic coating dip type stuff that was put on at the factory. It's half flaked off, so it's half black, half rust, which is not very pretty. So I'll clean this off as well. Well, that was easy. Just need to mask it up now so I can paint it. My mood has just been ruined because I thought everything was going so well. I just walked around the back of the car and just noticed this. That's probably not showing very well, but this is my new old stock, bought from Italy because I couldn't find any in the UK at all. Rear reflector and a little scrape here on the bumper. Something, when this car has been out, I've barely used it the last few weeks, something has nudged the back of it and cracked the reflector again. I'm really not happy at all about that. I've no idea when that happened, I've only just noticed it. Oh, can't remember anything nice. I'm still miffed about that reflector, that's really annoying. I have to order another one from Italy again, because I doubt any more have turned up in the UK since, well, a year ago when I put that on there. Oh, that's so bad. I have to go back through some old photos and try and work out when it happened. But mostly I've taken photos of the front of the car. And I took one of it in the dark the night I got it home. I think it's too dark to see if it's cracked or not in that one. So now I'll leave that for 20 minutes or so, then give it a second coat. While I go and hunt for some masking tape, because I've no idea what's happened to that now. So for the little button catch thing, I'm going with some Hammerite, smooth black, straight to metal. Let's hope that isn't too cold for it to flash off and look nice. We'll give it a few coats, and hopefully a decent finish on that side at least. Now one of my favourite things of all, filler work. You know that's sarcasm, don't you? Then in a turn of events that surprised literally nobody, before the second coat of black paint or the filler had started to dry properly, it started to rain. Now doing this in between showers of sleet is, I think, the way they recommend to do it on the back of the can if you bother to read all the small print. Doing this properly, the real old school way, newspaper and masking tape, the way it should be done in body shops. Of course, one advantage of doing it in the rain is, of course, that you don't have to go and get any water to sand it because it's already wet. Let that dry, hopefully before it rains again. The problem with doing undercoat is it immediately shows all the defects and where you didn't sand properly, but to be honest it's about -1 degrees and it's going to rain soon, so I'm going to go with the top coat and deal with this at a later date. Because I'd rather have a not brilliant top coat that's rust proof and waterproof than no top coat and it going rusty again. I guess I won't be using Halford's matte black or Chromatic matte black. That one is dead. I wanted like a satiny matte black. This one is VHT, high temperature, so not really necessary unless the car catches fire. Roll bar and chassis, which I think is more of a satin than a gloss. So hopefully, yeah, that will go on and look reasonably nice. Just a light coating, hopefully is enough. And another light coating in a minute. That's too much of a heavy coating. Even that little tiny dusting is running already. Perfect. I love doing paint in the freezing cold. I wish I'd known I was going to use this first of all, because this is rust proof and self-etching, so I didn't need to prime it. It would have been better to not prime it, in fact. Well, that's actually come out a little bit glossier than I was hoping, to be honest. I'm going to have to let that dry and come back on a warmer day when I've got a kind of satin black rather than or anything else, frankly. And also I can see a few marks where the filler wasn't sanded as well as it could have been, but then it was -1 and raining. So on the positive side, it's not going to rust during the rest of winter, hopefully. Well, now, thanks to various rainstorms, I've got about ½ kilo of paper mache glued to the side of this car, which hopefully I can peel off without damaging the soft new paint. Right, I'm going to call it a day for part 1 of this video. This has become a two-parter because there's so much to do on making this car glorious and beautiful again. The interior is now as lovely as it deserves to be. I've taken care of the two things that really bug me every time I walk up to this car from either side, which is that rusty window latch on the driver's side and that rusty window hinge thing here on the passenger side. So that's now done. Part 2 of this little two-parter, which is meant to be a one-parter, but it's just dragged on a bit, is going to be under the engine bay. Make the engine bay absolutely pristine, make the outside of the car absolutely beautiful. Snow foam, traffic film, clay bar, cut it, polish it, then either ceramic coat or wax it. I haven't decided yet which. And finally, I've got a can of blue paint somewhere, so the many stone chips on the bonnet of this car are going to vanish at last. Look forward to that next week sometime, probably. Right, thanks for watching, hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you again next time, maybe with a new reflector in my hand. That's annoying. Take care everyone, see you soon.